everyone, welcome back to another video, and today we're gonna be doing a video about Sparking Zero. Woo! Woo and all that. So yeah, basically the idea of this video is very simple. What if Sparking Zero got a crossover DLC with One Punch Man? I'm talking about what if they got that. That's it. I'm showing you stuff, you see things, blah blah blah, not hard to understand the concept of this video. It's actually really easy to understand the concept of this video. It's not rocket science. It's actually algebra, but still. Anyway, so yeah, now Sparking Zero has an immense roster. In fact, I'm going to show it to you right now. Boom. That is the roster of Sparking Zero as of right now, and all those characters yet to come and everything. And so I was thinking, well, what if instead of just every DLC being about Dragon Ball characters, they could do, some crossover characters. Now, I know this is pretty unlikely because typically studios from Japan don't do with fighting games. As far as I know, don't do many crossovers with other anime. Like, anime fighting games don't really do crossovers with other animes, which is weird, right? Isn't that a little weird? Anyways, so, this is just it. We're just going to ask the question, hey, what if? Now, Disney is just about to sue me, so let's go continue on. Anyway, so basically the idea is I'm going to take some characters. So let's talk about how many characters we're going to be putting in this DLC, because, that matters a lot. Now, with each DLC seems to have a different amount of characters, is really depending on how big the DLC is and what's being added on and everything. So I guess let's say a nice even 8 to 10 characters. That is how much this crossover is going to get. A decent, good size, and maybe we'll throw in a stage. You know what? So yeah, this DLC is going to cover about everything, yeah? Now, and it's going to cover, the DLC is probably going to cover the anime. That's typically what these games do. It's going to cover everything from Season 1 to Season 3, which, if you're going to go in the comments and complain about how bad Season 3 was, it's like, okay, thank you. I really need the motivation, even though I kind of like Season 3. That's right, I said it, I kind of liked it. Animation was bad and all, but I still enjoyed it a little bit. And if you can't watch someone who enjoyed it, then go, because I liked it. All right, I had fun with it. Was it the best? No, the animation was awful, but I liked it. All right, and you can't take that away from me. Anyways, so let's start with the first character, Saitama. Obviously we'll do Saitama. Come on. Now, Saitama, I'm thinking damage-wise and how he should rank. I'm thinking he should be pretty decently high character, because each character does a lot of damage. If you didn't know, it does different damages depending on the character. Usually it's based on how strong each character is relative to the series, Kid Goku is like the weakest Goku and stuff, and then the strongest Goku is MU Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku, it's kind of that. So that's kind of just how it is. And so we gotta I'm pretty sure they would probably keep that same effect with the DLC character, with crossover characters. Try to compare them to Dragon Ball characters, maybe. Probably not put them really low, obviously. Gotta make them seem decently there. Probably make them somewhat close to what they would probably be, because that's how I think they would do. And so Saitama, he's normal. His attacks are just gonna be normal punches, normal kicks, all that stuff. He's going to do around 400 damage. He's going to do damage equivalent to that of Super Saiyan 3 Goku. He's going to be around that level. Maybe a bit higher. Maybe a bit higher. But yeah, around that level. All right, we're going to put him that level. And one thing about Saitama is, that we'll do, that hasn't really been done a lot in the game, is that Saitama cannot fly. So, he's going to be like Hirokuro and other characters where he does not know how to fly. So Saitama is just going to be decently powerful character, who cannot fly at all. So, he's just going to be jumping around. And for his 2 special moves, I'm thinking we're going to do, I'm thinking First special move would be consecutive punches, where he can punches you a bunch of times. You know, if he lands his attack, he'll do, let's say, 20 punches. He'll do 20 punches, about that. You know, that worth of damage. So decently amount. And then for his second power move, whatever, I don't know what it's called. The second one should be, I'm thinking, let us do a very special one. I'm thinking, what if we do the sneeze attack? Because in the manga, and he has a little kind of accidental attack where he just sneezes. So I'm thinking, what if for that he winds up a sneeze and it just blows everything away, even the player. It doesn't do a ton of damage, but it gives people distance. Maybe you could use that distance to charge up for your sparking. That's right. Let's talk about what the sparking attack should be. When you're sparking up and everything, what should that be? I'm thinking it's gonna be the table flip. That move which is in the manga, so I guess Saitama can't really use it. I'm gonna give it to him because he doesn't really have that many special moves. But yeah, Saitama is gonna get the table flip, where basically he grabs the ground and flips kind of the earth like a table kind of thing, flipping it, and it'll basically cause like a wave attack where it expands out and does a lot of damage kind of thing. Grabs the ground, flips it up and everything, and just flungs a bunch of rocks and dust everywhere, doing really good damage. Now you're probably wondering, why haven't I not put the serious punch as the sparking move? Well, that was gonna be idea, but I think I have a better idea for it. All right, so what if we make the serious punches in the serious mode as like an actual kind of transformation for him? Not like a full-on transformation. I'm thinking like the Kaioken type of thing, where he just gets serious and just starts attacking. And it can be activated the same way. Basically, once you activate it, you get a really magic power-up. If he does 400 damage with his normal punches, then let's say for one serious punch, he's going to do twice that amount. Or like, I want it to be kind of broken-ish if you unlock it. Because I want it to be like really... So, there's obviously a bunch of stuff. What's it called? There's like 6... The number thing on the side, I don't know what it's called actually. I just forgot it. It's on my tip of my tongue. I just can't remember it. That system where the number goes up and everything. Gosh, I can't say it right. Frick me. What if we made it to what if to use the serious mode, it would have to be at the maximum. But once you get it, every single punch you throw is now a serious punch. Not like too ridiculously strong, but like really good. Like at least 600 damage from now each serious punch, but maybe 800 damage, doing like twice as amount. That would be pretty broken. And then, but also all your special moves would also be serious versions of those special moves. Your consecutive normal punches would now be consecutive serious punches. And now you're doing 20 serious punches. Your sneeze is now going to be a serious sneeze, and you just snoom it out. Your table flip is going to be a serious table flip. It will be really broken, but it would take forever to unlock it, and that's the idea for Saitama. Cannot fly, and he's okay by himself. Like, pretty good, but not the best. But once you get him to the serious mode, he's kind of broken. I'm thinking that's a really good idea for Saitama. Just imagine, you're in the match. You've been building up Saitama for a bit. You got him finally there, and now you have serious mode Saitama, and he's busted, breaking walls and everything. So that's the first character. Let's go on to the next character, which is Genos. Genos is gonna be a pretty weak character comparatively. I mean, Genos is strong in his world, but compared to the Dragon Ball world, it's just not there. And I don't really know how they're gonna do characters of Genos' strength much in Sparking Zero, because there's only like really a couple characters that are around his strength, or so I'm assuming they're gonna put him around Kid Goku level, maybe we'll put him a little bit above that. We'll put him a little bit above Kid Goku level, and we'll throw him right there, right? That Kid Goku is going to be, he's going to be a little bit above Kid Goku level, and special attacks, the Demon Cyborg attacks, the special attacks are just going to be the huge rocket things he always does and all that. I'm thinking for his sparking, it should be that whole big blast he used against Saitama in episode 2 or 3, I think. Just one big, huge blast attack. And yeah, I think that should be it for his special. And I'm also thinking we do something similar like we did with Saitama, the whole Kaioken transformation thing. So, in the series, later on, Genos has his ability where he can activate for 10 seconds, full power and be pretty busted kind of thing. So, what if we make it like that in this game? So for 10-ish seconds, you get to activate let's say it takes 3 numbers, so we call them numbers now. 3 of those numbers, you need to get to 3. You activate it, and for 10 seconds, you are bust. You're really, really overpowered. Maybe let's do 700 damage for sure. Doing a lot, really good amount of damage. But that only lasts for 10 seconds. So for 10 seconds, you're probably just going to want to clobber the person. I think the damage higher damage should be expected of the special moves. But if you want, but it's 10 seconds, so you would probably want to use the punches and then special moves for 10 seconds. Not a long time, but a good amount to do a lot of damage. You are a busted Genos going full power. That's what I'm thinking for that. So, Genos, kind of simple, nothing too crazy about him. And now let's talk about the third character, which is Tatsumaki. She is probably going to be, let's say strength-wise, maybe above Super Saiyan 1 Goku, base Goku level, maybe a bit higher. We'll put her there, decently strength-wise. She's Saiyan Saga level character and strength, maybe a little bit above that. I'll put her at Zarbon level. We'll put her at there for terms of damage. Now, this character can fly, on her own, and without anything. I guess Genos can fly, but it's not that normally a flying. But we could probably work that in normally. Yeah, she can fly, doing all the stuff. Special moves, would be her special attacks, the crushing force ability, all that stuff. Now she's not gonna get a Kaioken transformation thing like the other two. It's just gonna be her normally. So nothing too crazy with her. And then for her sparking, I think we should have her sister join up with her in the attack and just go a full on attack on everything, doing a whole lot of damage, all that. Just nothing too crazy with her. And yeah, those are the 3 hero characters I'm going to do. Because I'm thinking we kind of split this up a bit. 3 hero characters and 3 villain characters for One Punch Man. You get the 3 most popular kind of hero characters. And then we're going to do with the villains. First up is, I guess it's going to be, I think we're going to do Garo first. Garo is going to be kind of interesting let me tell you about it. So, basically, we're going to have Human Garo, because we can't really use the other ones, because they're not really available yet. But I have something special with Human Garo in mind. Okay, so Human Garo, decently strength-wise, he's going to be about equal as Genos, in this game. Do some damage, he's going to Kung Fu moves. Cannot fly as well, so he's going to be a grounded character as well. Special moves, all those special moves are, you already know what he does. But I have this one ability I think would work really well with him. So in the show and the manga and all that, the story is when he gets to near death, he gets stronger. So what if you're fighting a character, and let's say you get down to the last bar of your health, and suddenly his hair changes red, he coughs up blood, and he gets immensely stronger. Let's say he already does 300 damage, now he does 500 damage. And for the rest of the time he has that last bar, he is just going to do an insane amount of damage. He is going to be insanely powerful, fast, and all that. Just damaging characters left and right. He's just gonna be bloodlusted and all that. Let's make it 600 damage. You know, for the rest of the time he has that, for the rest of his life, that 1 bar of health, he is gonna be kind of red-haired Garo and I start attacking. Just because that fits with his character so well. I just love that idea. Don't you? Like, he's a character when every time he gets beats into near death and survives, he's like a Saiyan. What if we gotta put that in there. You get him with his last bar, he gets back up and just does a rage attack and just starts attacking. Maybe not even the last bar, maybe the last bar and half of the last one. You know, do that wise. Maybe do that, and you know, when he gets there, he's just, you know, ready to attack and just does insane damage. But, you know, still can't fly, so, you know, he can still attack him from above and do special attacks, so he's not completely, you know, crazy. But, you know, still, I think that would be a great thing. Alright, next character we're going to talk about is Boros. So I'm thinking we have all 3 of his transformations in here. Even though probably, realistically, for a DLC like this, they would probably only do 1. I'm going to throw all 3 of them in there, just because. So, Boros' first form is supposed to be a power dampener, and releases is supposed to weaken him in many ways, so I'm thinking no energy attacks for Boros. So, he's just going to be throwing rocks, I guess. That's what they're going to have to do. And, you know, speed. I think he could fly in this form, right? Or actually, I don't. Can Boros even fly? I don't think we've seen him fly at all. Actually, I just see him do energy attacks, and I just see him, you know, kind of assume he could just fly, but I don't even know if he can fly. Can he? Well, if he can't fly, then you know that old stuff. Anyways, weakened Boros is going to be about the same level as Tatsumaki, just, you know, weak and all that stuff, busting levels and everything. He's not going to be too crazy. The special moves are going to be just simple punches, and just the sparking is just going to be more punches. That's it. And then we have Unleashed Boros. This time he has energy attacks and can do a lot more things. I kind of want to include the healing factor, but also no game really includes any healing factor from the other characters, because there's a lot of characters in Sparking Zero that have decently good healing factors. They just don't really implement them in a fighting move way. So I guess I'm going to do the same with him. But he also is a crossover character, so he's kind of special. So maybe we'll do one special move where he kind of goes, does a little small heal. He gets a small heal, and that's what he gets. Small healing thing, you know, gets a small heal and heals a little bit afterwards and all that. So, anyways, for specials, you know, we're doing all that stuff. More kind of simple punches and energy attacks, because he's not that crazy. But for his Sparking and Unleashed form, he's going to do that really cool attack I can't remember the name of, that he used against Saitama. You know, Saitama just didn't even feel it, but you know, I will use that attack. He's going to be above Unleashed Boros on strength. You know, I think Unleashed, let's say Tatsumaki would be 350. He'll be the same there. Let's make him 375. He's going to be stronger, faster, and maybe he can fly. I don't remember him flying, though. I know he jumps a lot and kind of seems like he flies, but I don't know if he actually flies directly. Anyways, let's go on to the final form of Boros, Meteoric Burst, or what was it? Yeah, Meteoric Burst, I think it was called. And yeah, Boros is going to be his strongest here. He's going to be the fastest. Energy attacks are very strong and all that stuff. And, you know, the basics, nothing too crazy. Boros is very simple in terms of fighting. You can just implement a lot of his moves and all that, make him stronger and all that stuff. Obviously, his Sparking would have to be his final attack against Saitama, you know, that whole thing. I think that attack should be pretty busted, kind of like on the higher end of the strength, and maybe it should cost him something. Like, it costs him a lot, like all of his energy. Like, no matter how much energy you have, you will lose all of your energy and stamina just by using the attack. But it'll do a lot of damage. And maybe the attack, because the attack is supposed to take all of Boros' energy and uses it. So maybe how much energy you have in you when you use the attack depends on how strong it is. Like if you're trying to saving the move for a little, if you're trying to save the move for the right chance to use it, and you kind of save it to the end, like to the first bar, to the first bar, it's just gonna be, it'll be strong, but not like too crazy, like pretty weak. But if you have it on the 6th bar, it should be like maybe the most powerful. It could be like 6 times stronger or something. I don't know. I think that's a cool idea to implement his characteristics in there. Also the healing thing as well. We should do that. And yeah, I think Boros is very simple. Nothing too crazy about him. And the final character is going to be a giant character. It's going to be Lord Orochi and all that. Orochi is awesome. I kind of wish the season was better animated, so that fight with Garou was a bit better. But you know what? It's okay. I still love Orochi. He's still one of my favorite characters, and I can't wait to see what they're gonna do with him in the future seasons. Because I know he ain't dead. Because I read the manga. Anyways, Lord Orochi, obviously he's gonna be a giant character and basically a fire-based character as well. So a lot of attacks with fire, giantness, and all that. I was thinking about maybe adding his transformation with Saitama in there, but I don't know. Should that be like its own transformation or not? Because if we do, there's not too many differences between those transformations. The transformation is base form, like in terms of attack-wise, because it kind of do the same thing. But he's also more powerful, so how about this? We'll do the transformation. Yeah, we'll throw it in there. All right, so throw in the transformation. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9 characters. So all right, we have 9 characters for a whole DLC, and this is what it looks like. This is what if we add all those characters to the DLC. This is what it would look like and all that. And yeah, that's kind of cool, right? So that's what everything would look like, and I hope you guys. So yeah, that's the DLC. Would you ever want this as a DLC? Like if they made it like the way I said it, would you guys buy that, huh? I don't think it would be part of the season pass. I think it would just be a separate thing. But yeah, so would you buy that as a DLC? Huh? I don't know. It's up to you guys. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. That's kind of everything right now. Do you guys want to see more crossover DLCs? Like what if we did One Piece or anything? What if I try to ask, what if they do One Piece and stuff? I don't know. We'll have to see about that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe for more videos. And thank you guys so much. Bye.
Vegeta.